Call to order the City Council meeting for the City of East Grand Forks. Tuesday, August 6, 2019 is now 5 o'clock. City Clerk, please call roll.
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Council President Mark Olstead.
Here.
Council Vice President Chad Grassel.
Here.
Council Members Clarence Vetter.
Here.
Dale Helms.
Here.
Tim Riopel.
Here.
Tim Johnson. Mark Demers.
Present.
Does turn quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Open forum and opportunity for members of the public to address City Council on items not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be deferred to staff, boards, and commissions for future council agendas if appropriate. If you'd like to address City Council, please come up to the podium to do so at this time. I see none. Approval of minutes for July 16th council meeting, July 23rd special meeting, and July 23rd work session.
Move.
Moved by Second. Second by Helms. Any questions or discussion? See none. Roll call, please.
Grassel.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes. Motion is carried. Scheduled bid lettings, none. Scheduled public hearings, none. Consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda will be adopted with one motion. However, council members may request individual items to be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion and action if they choose. Any council members like items 4 through 8 pulled?
Number 4.
Number 4 pulled. Any other ones be pulled? Okay. Consent agenda items 5, 6, 7, and 8. Moved by Vetter.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Any questions or discussion? Sit on roll call, please.
Grassel.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes. Motion is carried. Number 4, consider adopting resolution number 19-08-51, approving the appointment of the Brian S. Larson to the vacancy in the Park Board Recreation Commission. Is there a motion?
Move.
Moved by Grassel.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Questions or discussion? Mr. Vetter.
Thank you. Years ago when we got rid of committees and commissions, one of the reasons was that there was a lot of stuff being done behind the council's back, and when things came to the council, we were just supposed to rubber stamp it and not ask any questions. Later on in our agenda, we are getting a couple of reports from the Park Commission, and when you read through those, they're taking action on a number of stuff other than just recommendations to the council. And when we set up that Park Commission, if we read through what we set up, all they were tasked with was to bring recommendations to City Council and not act on anything. Because they're acting on something, I'm thinking that, or recommending that that commission be abolished and that we bring everything back under the City Council's purview, and therefore I'm going to vote no on this Park Commission appointment. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? I see none. Roll call, please.
Grassel.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Vetter.
No.
Helms.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes. Motion is carried. Acknowledge receipt of reports of officers, boards, and commissions, regular meeting minutes, and minute summary of Water, Light, Power, and Building Commission for July 3rd, 2019. Number 10, regular meeting minutes for Park and Recreation Commission for April 17th, May 15th, and June 19th, 2019. Communication, there is none. Old business, there is none. New business, number 11, consider adopting resolution number 19-08-52, approving the issuance of the solid waste disposal revenue bonds for the American Crystal Sugar Project, Series 2019.
Move.
Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Any questions or discussion? I see none. Roll call, please.
Grassel.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes. Motion is carried. Number 12, consider adopting resolution number 19-08-53, approving the hiring of Parker Knack as police officer at salary $25.84 per hour. Is there a motion?
Move.
Moved by Vetter.
Second.
Second by Helms. Any questions or discussion? You have anything, Chief?
I was just going to offer out, Parker is a young gentleman from Red Lake Falls area, currently working at Tri-County Community Corrections in Crookston. He'd be starting at our base pay.
You have any questions? See none, sir? Roll call, please.
Grassel,
Yes.
Demers,
Yes.
Vetter,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes, motion is carried. Number 13, consider approving the purchase of the 2024 Police Interceptor SUV for the K-9 unit from Tavordi Ford, is that how you say it?
1040, I believe.
1040, for a total amount of $31,462.56, and equip the vehicle with Guardian Fleet Safety for a total of $17,075.29 to be paid by donations and sponsorship funds.
Move.
Moved by Helms,
Second.
second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? Chief, do you have anything?
I was just going to comment, since we last met, we have been approached by several businesses. We have gotten a small amount of just standard monetary donations from citizens, but we've been contacted by 3 different businesses. 2 of them are donating a portion of their sales. Up North Pizza is going to do 10% of their sales towards this program on Mondays throughout the month of August. And then another company, I believe it's Red Attic, is I believe that redattic.com, clothing, apparel for anything from pets to kids and family members. And there's a segment of their products that they're going to also donate I believe it's 25%. So I don't know how much that'll add up to, obviously. But it's something that would be additional coming in. And then the large sponsorship is actually going to be coming from Redell Motor Incorporated in Grand Forks. And we're going to be going out there on the 21st, and Officer Hychek and Leo are going to be doing a demonstration of the K-9 program. Any donations would be accepted from the public at that point in time as well. Redell's is planning on advertising this, and we will as well on our Facebook page. I'm also going to attend that evening. And then they are giving us a sponsorship of $10,000 to attend that and do that evening. So that really right there pretty much covers the difference in what we need to fund the vehicle.
Do you have any questions? See none, roll call, please, sir.
Grassel,
Yes.
Demers,
No.
Vetter,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes, motion is carried. Number 14, consider awarding the street crack sealing job to Northwest Asphalt Maintenance for sealing 1,000 linear feet for $65,000. For motion.
Move.
Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Grassel. Any questions or discussion? Okay. See none, sir. Roll call, please.
Grassel,
Yes.
Demers,
Yes.
Vetter,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes, motion is carried. Number 15, consider awarding the street repair project for 8th Street Southeast Stop Construction for $31,094.40.
Move.
Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? See none, roll call, please.
Grassel,
Yes.
Demers,
Yes.
Vetter,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes, motion is carried. Number 16, consider declaring the 1987 Chevrolet bus, can't even talk today, look out. Chevrolet bus unit 314 as surplus and approve the transfer ownership to Detroit Lakes Towing.
Move.
Moved by Helms.
Second.
Second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? Mr. Helms.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is this going to will this take care of all the towing bill, or will we still owe some?
Yeah, this will take care of the total towing bill. That was the agreement I made with DL Towing, is that if they could keep the bus for scrap, that they wouldn't charge us for the tow back into Detroit Lakes.
And
it
what
was
was-
about 24 miles outside of Detroit Lakes when it broke
And
down.
what was that bill? How much?
He estimated about $400.
Okay.
Yeah. I did call a couple of other companies asking if they'd be interested in towing or buying it from us for salvage and to include a tow. And each of the other companies I talked to said that it wasn't worth anything more than scrap for the age and the condition.
Anybody else have any questions? See none, roll call, please.
Grassel,
Yes.
Demers,
Yes.
Vetter,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes, motion is carried. Claims, consider authorizing the city administrator clerk treasurer to issue payment of recommended bills and payroll.
Move.
Moved by Vetter.
Second.
Second by Demers. Any questions or discussion? See none, roll call, please.
Grassel,
Yes.
Demers,
Yes.
Vetter,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes, motion is carried. Mayor Gander.
Good evening. First, I'd like to talk about bridges between Grand Forks and East Grand Forks. Recently, Mayor Mike Brown was quoted in a Herald article as saying that he would veto any spending on a bridge at 32nd Avenue. And Grand Forks Council President Dana Sandy has led the opposition to a bridge at 32nd Avenue. A week or so before the Herald article, we met with Mayor Brown and Council President Sandy, along with our President Mark Olsted, Pete Haga, and our 2 city administrators to discuss the issue. We heard President Sandy's opposition to the 32nd Avenue location for a bridge, and also Mayor Brown's intent to veto spending on a bridge at 32nd, so the Herald article was no surprise to us. Appreciate the heads up from the folks over there. In this recent meeting, though, we also heard Mayor Brown say that our 2 communities should have been building bridges every mile or so for the past 50 years, so our current situation is a greater challenge than it should be. And President Sandy would like to explore the possibility of building a south end neighborhood bridge, having a roundabout on the west side of the dike, and then distributing traffic into several corridors into the Grand Forks area, thus distributing that extra traffic along those several corridors. I sure like the sound of that. I don't know if we can do it with the way some of the land was purchased and with the other limitations maybe by the Corps, but we'll sure see if it has any potential. In any case, the cities of East Grand Forks and Grand Forks are in solid agreement on Merrifield as a location for a high dry truck farm commercial bridge that could also serve as an intercity connection during times of flooding. We're also in agreement that a neighborhood connection must be established, the location of which still needs to be determined. I'd like to talk also a little bit about the discussion we had last month about our local sales tax. As most of you recall, we currently have a local sales tax to pay for the improvements on the swimming pool, which, by the way, is swarming with kids every day. That tax is scheduled to sunset when the swimming pool renovation is paid for, and then it would be at least a year before any new local sales tax could be initiated. The premise behind using a sales tax for certain expenditures is that it's a regional tax that can only be used for amenities that have a regional impact. The swimming pool is a perfect example in that it's used by people from all over the area. Last month, we were given a list of about a dozen items to consider as for possible funding for a future sales tax locally. Since then, I've heard from several businesses and community members about their concern over future sales tax. I do appreciate hearing from you. We are now here making decisions on your behalf. You undoubtedly have spending priorities, how you want the city to spend your money, as well as ideas on how to pay for those priorities. We're in the very early stages of this conversation of a possible future sales tax locally, and now is the time to let us know your preferences. On another note, you've probably heard and seen from a Herald article again that Mrs. Wicker and the Good Samaritan Society are closing in on their goal of 100% funding of the patio gathering area in the property here for the Good Samaritan here in East Grand Forks. I would like to thank everyone that stepped up and supported this effort, and to let you know that you still have time to bring your donations to put their fundraising over the top. A couple of years ago, I started giving out grinder awards to people who quietly work to make our community better. It's similar to what John Gruden used to do with football players who were instrumental in helping their teams win, and who didn't always get the credit they deserved. They were often linemen or fullbacks that rarely handled the ball, but without whose effort, ball handlers would have been in a world of hurt. I'd like to share an email that I received from Katie Baseflug, our Parks and Rec specialist. I have edited it just slightly. Hi, Mayor Gander. I know we can't give a grinder award for every kid and coach on this team right here, but I need to tell you something amazing that they did. Last night, our American Crystal Miners team played a team from a nearby town in a playoff game. The game went fairly quickly as we won by the 10-run rule in the 4th inning. Then the coach from the other team came over and asked our coaches if we could play one more inning, as they had a boy with some developmental challenges who's always wanted to pitch but never had the opportunity to pitch in a game before. Without hesitation, our coaches agreed, and as well as the whole team. I think at first our guys were more excited to do this than the player from the other team. The player took the mound to pitch, and our boys batted. They swung at the good pitches and the not-so-good pitches. Our team chanted this pitcher's name and cheered him on. By now, the young pitcher was totally excited and pumped with what was going on. At the end of the game, our boys grouped together and continued cheering him on and presented him with the game ball as we wrote the date on it for him. There wasn't a dry eye in the place. As a parent of one of our players and an employee of Parks and Recreation, I've never been more proud of our team, coaches, and players. These boys showed great sportsmanship and compassion, as well as the coaches. I couldn't have been more proud that night. So the coaches are Shannon Stassen, Bobby Buzik, and Anthony Walsh. The players are Chasen Bass-Flug, Bo Bushy, Liam Brendan, Mason Buzik, Logan Christensen, Wyatt Corinta, Matthew Reichman, Jackson Stassen, Jacob Stassen, James Vignes, Caden Walsh, Easton Wavra, and Brady Wise. This is signed by Katie Bass-Flug, Parks and Recreation Specialist. It's a great reminder of what is taught and learned in our athletic and other recreational programs. As Katie said, sportsmanship and compassion. The guys were obviously ready to play the game, but they were also ready to do the more important thing, to respect the dignity of another person. It's also the sort of thing that makes this community great to live in. So I say all the coaches and players deserve Grinder Awards. Reed, would you please make sure that they receive those? Thank you. That's all I got.
Better.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Mr. Helms.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I have want to invite everybody that Heritage Weekend starts on Thursday with the parade at 6 o'clock, and then car show, and I think it's the Downtown Horns will be playing Thursday night. Friday is it's a kids day camp out there, and then Saturday and Sunday is our actual show. I would appreciate, the Heritage would appreciate any help we can get from the department heads, the council, or anybody else that would like to sign up and help us work our burger stand or whatever out there. They've done it before in the past, and we've got a lot of good reviews from people that come out and said, it's really awesome to see the city out working and helping us make this thing go. So people notice it. So I have sign-up sheets here if anybody'd like to sign up. I got a Saturday and a Sunday with some times on it. So if anybody'd like to sign up, please do so. Preferably if you can tonight, so we can kind of figure out how much more help we got to come up with. So other than that, how about those Twins, huh? Walk-off home run last night. Thank you.
Ray Appel.
Just one quick thing. Megan and I have had some conversations on these temporary liquor licenses and vendor wagons and how they're getting the paperwork in late, and she's having to scramble to try to get it all approved. So her and I are going to sit down. We're going to go through all the permits and stuff and make some recommendations to the council as to, you know, if they can't get their paperwork done, most are dealing with they know 6 months in advance, sometimes even a year, and they're waiting the last minute to do the paperwork with us. So we'll try to be fair and equitable, but there will be some penalty fees that we might want to add. So if you don't mind, I will do that with her and take the time, because it's, what, 20 years old now, Megan, or something?
Yes, yeah.
It's time to do it again. That's it.
Mr. Demers.
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Grasso.
Nothing.
I have nothing tonight. Mr. Murphy.
The only thing I have is just a reminder that I will be out next week on a scheduled vacation. So,
Mr. Emery.
I have nothing unless somebody has questions.
Anything from the department heads? I see none. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Helms.
Second.
Second by Ray Appel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. The meeting is